I want casting couch. What's up, guys? Welcome to our
So we're looking for a bad bitch.
our first week. We were already getting into some issues. They still disliked that. They didn't like our group. They didn't like what we were about. It's a random hate.
And it's like, it's not fair to us. You know, we put our bodies out there on the line. We deal with insults. Yeah, it comes with the job. We get all that. We signed the dotted line. But it's like, when it comes to protection and it comes to like keeping us interested in the event, why not take care of us a lot more?
I get it though. I saw that before I started working there. I'm like, it can't be that bad. It's bad.
I'm gonna put a disclaimer out, like, you know, we're not bashing knots.
I think that could be your disclaimer right now.
Right?
What's up, guys? It's Johnny here, and as you heard, we're putting a disclaimer out. We are not bashing Knott's Berry Farm or Knott's Scary Farm at all. All we're doing, or what we're all gonna do, is explain what happened this past year at Knott's, and primarily why I did not film anything at all. I know I released some scaring footage, but there was no behind the scenes, and there was a reason for that. So I got my guys here. I got Kenny and Ken, and I got Cam here. We're gonna just explain what happened and why I did not film. What is the first issue I should put out?
Whatever you want.
Tell them what you told or what they told you in the beginning of the season.
Oh, okay. So
During orientation.
the very beginning. So this was, we weren't even working for Knott's yet. We have an orientation that we all have to go to, and it's a mandatory orientation, just like a rundown of like what's gonna happen and all that stuff. So in that, there was a moment where they stopped and they were saying that there was no filming, there was no videos, there was no pictures or anything backstage. So I've been doing this for about like 4 years now, filming backstage, and nobody's told me anything. So when they say that, they say it at every orientation, and I kind of like disregard it, obviously. And this past orientation, they singled out a certain group of people who do YouTube, and also post on their Instagrams and make profiles for their characters on Instagram. And this was like the first red flag. They pointed out that we couldn't do anything on YouTube, and then everybody in that orientation looks back at me. They know who they're talking about, so it's kind of like they're singling me out. And I know that there are others who do behind the scenes and backstage footage. Yeah, so I completely ignored that. And then I'm gonna fast forward up until like the first night of Haunt, which is opening night. Before I even started, when I came in and I put my box down, and we're just sitting there, we're chilling out in our little group, I get approached by somebody.
Okay, so someone that is in an important position.
So, okay, yeah, somebody in an important position for my zone came up to me opening night and said that, hey, I know you have a YouTube, I know you have a following and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, like I do videos. But like as I was talking, she stopped me and said, we're not gonna have that at all this year. Well, at this moment, I'm like, what do you mean we're not gonna have that this year? Like, that's pretty much what I've been doing. Like, I have my whole YouTube based around this, and if anything, it's kind of helping, you know? And then she completely disregarded everything I said and said, no, we're not gonna have that going on this year, so I'm gonna have you just not record anything at all. And part of me understood, but part of me didn't, because I've been doing this for 4 years, and if anything, I've been getting, you know, pretty much praise from upper management saying that this past year that I could have used some sort of room just to film videos in, and I explained that to her. But still, even to that, she was just like, no, like, we're not gonna have you record. Upper management is telling me that we can't have you, and I know that there's another person in your group that also films, so we're not gonna have that going on anymore. So this is just to start off my first night working the 2018 season. And with that, pretty much, I was already upset. So I came into it thinking I'm gonna make all these videos, I had all these ideas. So my loophole around that was to release videos of me scaring on stage. So there was no crime or anything of like foul play of me filming out there when I'm scaring. So I had that in mind. I was like, you know what, forget it, I'm just gonna do that. Our first week, we were already getting into some issues. So you might know more about that. Pretty much like what happened with you that first week.
So the issue the first week, it's been a while, guys. I apologize. But we had an issue apparently on stage, or someone that I was running with, and we got brought backstage by management saying that there was an issue involving me and that other person. And this person I'm close to, one of my friends, and they brought us into HR, and the issue totally felt like it didn't make sense. It felt like we were blamed for things that we did not do. Legit, this is the first week, so we're like, hey, we're gonna go in, we're gonna do the best we can, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna be inside the parameters that Knott's has set for us in order to run the event smoothly. And out of nowhere, we just get targeted. And I hate to say that word, but I felt like we got targeted. I'm trying to still recall this issue. But
I just remember from the past year.
Okay, there was an issue for sure with other employees that weren't necessarily like cast members or like talent, but it has something to do with, you know, our protection in the park, security. And I had an issue with the gentleman the previous year, and this gentleman, we crossed paths and he shoulder bumped me. And I then looked back because, you know, we get shoulder bumped or we get touched all the time as talent. So it's something that we're used to, but what kind of like blew my mind is I saw that it was a security guard. It was someone that was actually supposed to be protecting us, and here he is shoulder bumping me, and then looks back at me and flashes his light in my face and tells me that I need to watch where I'm going. Don't you guys think if this guy knows that we're here to do a job, and that job is to make the environment as scary as possible and maintain a certain level of energy and to maintain our characters just in order to make Not Scary Farm, you would think this security guard will have a little bit more compassion or apologize. It definitely wasn't done. Nothing was done intentionally on my part. I was just walking through. He shoulder checks me, and then I look back at him and I'm like, hey man, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you acting like a guest? And he then tried to address me and so on and so forth. We brought the issue backstage, and through the rest of the run, this guy gave me and my friends problems. Every time he saw us, he would look at us with his security buddy and stare at us like it's a problem. Every time he were to exit the employee gate and see us sitting down somewhere, he would look at us and mean mug us. So anyway, that happened, and then the start of this past season, we were brought backstage, and apparently this same security guard said that me and my friend basically addressed him or bumped him, when clearly when we were walking backstage and we saw him in costume, so he couldn't even see us, he didn't even recognize us because we both had different masks on. And he then tells that hey, we were walking too close to him, he felt threatened, so on and so forth. So the whole issue is that it was clearly no one, as far as management goes or the park itself, I feel like they didn't have our back. We are the heart and soul of what they're trying to do, and I felt like that there was no support there, and especially for our group, Royalty, that, you know, we were frowned upon and looked down upon, or sort of the bad kids in the class, when clearly we were some of the most hardest working talent out there. We maintained, like I said, a certain level of energy, and we kept to ourselves. We didn't bother anyone, but there was some sort of secret hate that I felt that we had. And, you know, most of us here, you know what I mean, we like everyone. You know, we like everyone. If you came and talked to us, we would talk to you or whatever. But, you know, I just felt like in a lot of situations where someone should have had our back, they weren't there to have our back.
And that makes sense too. We were, to like the Royalty group, we purposely sit away from everybody else just so we don't get involved in any drama. So that was our main reason of like separating us from the rest of the haunt actors. just to get away from all that. So the fact that like we put ourselves isolated from everybody else and they still were like bothering us for that reason, because we didn't sit under the same tent as them or in the same area as them, they still disliked that. They didn't like our group, they didn't like what we were about. And to be honest, we didn't really have anything bad against them. So it was just a random hate. They saw how good we were doing, whether it be with YouTube or Instagram or like, you know, outside of our lives, and they didn't like that. I guess to be honest, our life doesn't rotate around Haunt. Like, we do things outside of it. These videos are just, you know, for fun. They're just to show you guys what it is to be a monster and all that stuff, and then to be, you know, to have that taken away kind of sucks.
It's gonna be a long video.
It's gonna be a long video, guys.
But like, I feel like, also, sorry to interrupt,
No,
but
it's fine.
like,
Just go.
in a sense of like, these videos aren't necessarily for like selfish purposes. Yes, a lot of people benefit from them, and yes, the YouTubers do. I don't have a channel myself, but I am a product of someone putting content on YouTube. I fell in love with the park, yes, as a guest, but those months and months when we're not in season or Knott's isn't going on, what kept that fire lit and what kept me excited and wanting me to work the event was YouTube videos. And I think that is something that's important, especially for a lot of young kids now, to keep the event going and keep the tradition alive, is that they go to YouTubers like Kenyon, Johnny, you know, or Art, or, you know, I mean, whoever it may be that is pushing content. So I just don't understand some of the censorship.
Well, they just don't know, like the marketing department there clearly could
Bash.
be, like
Bash.
they don't know what they're doing. Like they could have easily just been like, yo, we need you guys to put out a bunch of Not Scary Farm videos and attract a bunch of people to this park, and we would have done it, like no problem.
Exactly.
But they were like, oh no, you can't record, we don't really want you posting. Like, it's just ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense.
Do you guys remember that one clown who came into Knott's? She was like, I don't know where she was from, but Knott's founder, and they had her giving out balloons and shit.
Shit, the crazy.
Oh yeah,
Pretty
I don't
much
think
like-
that, like people will probably want to know that, but
I mean, like, I'm trying to keep it as raw as possible and not like sugarcoat too much, you know? But people like that, like, they would hire outside entertainment when we were already working, when they could have put us in that position, when they could have done this, they could have done that, but instead they want to hire other people, they want other YouTube, other influencers to film backstage. Keep in mind, backstage, which is what I was doing originally, and they brought other people in just to film that. And they told me prior to that I could not do that.
oh yeah, and I was in the same room as this guy when they announced that, you know, we don't want people putting out YouTube videos, and like the whole his half of the room looked at him, and then my half of the room looked dead at, like, I don't want to cuss, so we let it cuss. They looked dead ass at me, and I was just like, oh, okay, well that's cool. I just put us on blast like that, whatever. And then like literally the same week, the first opening week, I saw some random YouTuber in Warehouse P, which is where the costumes are stored and where we get ready and get dressed and stuff. And he was filming like nothing, like
Right,
they brought
yes.
him in to make a video. And I was like, yo, this guy, I have twice as many subs as him, but like besides that doesn't even matter. It's like I literally work here and I want to help grow this, you know, Scary Farm in general.
Right.
But like they're fighting against us for, I don't know. I get it, but then I don't get it. I get that they want to bring their own people in, but like why not try and help out the people you already have?
Right.
Exactly. We're working for you guys. Like, come on. Like, you can just pull us out and do that. But instead they want to get other people in to do that. Their main thing is they don't want secrets out there. And to be honest, like the biggest secret that they don't want you to know is that we do all of our own stuff. We supply our own wardrobe, our own mask, our own knee pads. Like, they don't buy that for you.
They do have some, but like if you use Not Scary Farm masks, they're so crappy.
Exactly.
Like you can't scare anybody with their masks. They're the goofiest masks I've ever seen.
Oh
and like
my
they expect you to put that on and go out there and scare thousands of people.
Yes.
Like the people who actually wear Not Scary Farm masks or Not Scary Farm masks, they get laughed at out there. Like if you ever see just a monster that doesn't make any sense, it's they're wearing a Not
Yeah,
Scary
that-
Farm
that's
mask.
all supplied by Knott's. And
Like
so
if you go
dumb.
to like not to, you know, I don't even care if I throw shade. I'm so done with this place.
All right.
Like,
It
but,
got
like,
wild, it got heated.
if you go to Six Flags Fright Fest, all their monsters get like incredible makeup.
Makeup.
They get all that stuff and not
Prosthetics at
yeah,
that, too.
Everyone
prosthetics.
gets prosthetics.
It's insane how much work they put into their monsters.
Universal.
Yeah, it's because
Exactly.
they want to be good, and like the current management at Not Scary Farm, they're already like at the top, so they don't want to be like they don't want to keep up that reputation, or
Yeah.
they feel like they already have it, so they don't need to try and build anything up because they have it all. And that's, I don't know if I explained that right, but that's like my take on it.
Yeah, and that reminds me too, because like Universal and other haunt events like Queen Mary, Universal, like I said, and then Six Flags, they all get a lot better treatment. I know Universal, they get their own like place to get dressed. They get their own like catering. If you're vegan, they got you like no problem. Like I don't understand that. Why don't we have that? But instead, we have to get dressed out in the open, in that cold air, that hot air, whatever it may be. We're out in the open, like taking off our clothes.
Sometimes it's raining.
Sometimes it's raining, and they don't want us to go in like indoors or into like one of those warehouses.
Right.
They want to keep us outside getting dressed and shit like that. And we still have to go out there and perform in the rain.
Right. And I will say this, we do have the best talent.
Yeah.
I will say that.
That's it.
We do have
like
the best talent.
landslide.
Yeah, like we do have the best talent, but like they said, is for having the best talent, you would think that we would be taking care of the best, and I feel like we're not, and I feel like the purpose also in doing this video is also speaking up for fellow talent. I mean, we've all thought it. Some people don't say it, some people do, because it's like kind of put up. It's kind of like put up or shut up, and you know what I mean. Like we work our ass off. You know what I mean. I think we deserve everything and more. We keep Knott's going and Knott's Scary Farm. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
At the top, and I think it's due. It's due. But yeah, it's back to the whole, videos and backstage. I saw so many people with their personal phones out, filming and everything like that. But because it's not a highlighted group, it's not that serious. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying that they probably wouldn't have enforced it, but 100%, if it was any of us, someone's gonna snitch.
Yes.
Someone's gonna tell, oh, did you see that? Or they're gonna come over and stop us and reprimand us harder than a lot of people. And I feel like that's just not fair.
They came at me saying that if I were to release any footage, I would either get fired on the spot or I wouldn't get a rehire. Whichever one, either way, I'm still fired some way or another.
Did you see they added a page to the, what's it called? Like at the beginning, we had to sign papers to get employed there.
Yeah.
And they added a little section that was like
A new section.
Yeah, if we find any content of ours backstage on your social media platform, we have the right to like sue you for $3K for every single little clip.
Wow.
Yeah, so there's legal issues because of what's happening backstage. I don't even know what's happening backstage. Like, it's nothing. It's just an empty lot full of people getting dressed and shit. That's it. Like, there's nothing like secret. There's no like anything. We're not actually real monsters. We're like regular people. As you can see, we're regular people. Like, there's no secret. There's nothing that we're giving out. The only thing that makes sense is that they don't want us talking about what's coming out for next season. Which
I don't want to talk about that. I feel like that ruins it for us if we talk about anything
no,
like
we
that.
even have that.
Exactly, they have it inside, but people talk about that and they share with everybody else, their friends, their family, whatever. But that's the only secret that Knott's has that they don't want us to release. That's it. Like, there's nothing backstage that's happening that you guys don't know of, or now that you guys don't know if you guys watch my videos. There's nothing back there that is hidden. It's all out in the public. Guests can even see us through these like shitty ass walls. Like, they can peek their head like, oh shit, look, he's getting dressed. Like, it was a shitty thing. Like, if anything, like Knott's is low-key ghetto with that, because like we need our own place to get dressed. We need everything. Like, they hire 1,000 people and there's nowhere for us to get
the full 1,000. But
okay, maybe
it's
like
close to
500.
it. But it's more than that. But whatever.
No, but I mean, we can go on and on. Yeah. Honestly,
dude, I haven't even like touched any of my stories.
So can you?
I've gotten so much crap from this place. Don't get me wrong. When like I remember when before I even started working at Knott's Scary Farm, I used to watch like Art Dracula's videos all the time. I can't wait to work here.
Exactly.
When I started working here, like you realize how crappy the like actually working there. It's okay. Let me get that. Let me rephrase that. It's so much fun scaring people to the point that you're gonna put up with all the crap that Knott's gives you for however many years you do the event.
Right.
Yeah.
But like go onto Yelp and look up Knott's Berry Farm employee reviews. It's everything's like negative star. I get it though. I saw that before I started working there. I'm like, it can't be that bad. It's bad. Like it's just.
So if anything, we make it look fun. We make it seem it's so easy, it's so simple. And for like the first 2 years of me working there, it was just that. It was literally just like you get there, you scare, you leave. There was no drama. There was nothing happening. There was nothing bad.
Dude, my second year is when it all went to shit. When I made it on the streets.
Oh.
Yeah. because I made that little horn prop and it scared the crap out of people. And then all the vets that were like have been in Carnival for like 2 and 3 years were like, oh crap, that thing works a lot better than what I do.
Right.
And like they got jealous of it and they're like, hey, you can't use that anymore. And I was like, says who? And I just still used it.
Oh, and that also reminded me too, like they hated that we got recognition too.
Oh, that's just like a natural thing. Like
Yeah.
everybody gets jealous.
I understand that, but there was a point to when they were insulting some of you guys
They're
out
just
there.
sore
when they would
losers.
come. Yeah, but,
like
like,
basically.
I would hear like people would come up and tell me, hey, like there's someone out there looking for you. And I was like, oh, like, what'd you tell them? Oh, I said that you died. Oh, I said that you quit. Oh, I said that you don't work here anymore.
I got that all the time.
Well, first of all, like on that note, you're not supposed to be saying anything like that.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, you can't break character.
You're
But you're
not
breaking
supposed to-
character because they're that bad.
Yeah. I've
It's so
thought
stupid.
a number of times being out there on the streets, and some people in particular, you know who you are, will make a comment on what you're doing and how you're doing it, and it's like, first of all, you're stepping way over your position. Way over your position. From what I understand, we're equals. We're equals. And my thing is, I'm in the same zone as you are. So, I mean, I have every right to do what has been approved 100% by management, my talent captain, my counselors, whoever they are. But for someone to feel like they can criticize and talk to you while you're out there on the streets is not okay. It's one thing if you address me backstage, I'm sorry. But it's one thing if you address one of us backstage, and then at that point still it's kind of like, okay, you're walking a thin line here. If anything, you have a problem with what I'm doing, talk to someone that's in charge. And if they agree with you, they will come and address me. No, most of the time they felt like they were at liberty to say, hey, you should be doing this, or why are you doing that? Or I hate sliding, why are you sliding? Can't you do something else? Is there another scare
That was
tactic
so
out there?
stupid. They're like, oh, you can't use sliding too much. That's a crutch. It's too easy to scare people. I'm like, that's why I signed up for Not Scary Farm, to like slide and scare people. It's the stupidest stuff, I swear.
Exactly. A lot of you guys out there who like watch my videos, you guys want to do it just to slide. So imagine being shit talked because you're sliding
Yeah,
out
it's
there.
dumb.
It's so stupid,
Like, you guys don't understand how dumb some of these people can be.
Right.
And I'm not saying there's so many good people like that are coworkers and that are really good monsters out there and have like no issues at all. But there's just there's so many
few.
yeah,
those
that
few.
kill everything.
Exactly, and that's what really kills you.
That get recognition. So
Yeah.
they feel like they have the freedom to say these things because they get a lot of freedom versus
Yeah.
like where they get to do whatever they want. So that's another underlining issue is that, okay, treat us all as equals. You know what I mean? Don't pick one group, because the whole thing, they want us to be a family. They preach family. We're one unit.
Yeah.
Okay, if we're one unit, why is one group getting more freedom and leeway than the others? You get what I'm saying? It just doesn't make any sense.
I think, okay, so the first, okay, how do I explain this? Let me think of a good way to put it out there. Okay, so the like my number one problem with this place is with the first year you work there, you're like really hyped. It's like, oh, I can't wait to start working there. You finally get the job, and then the first day, like at training, you meet all the veterans, the people who have been working the event, that are in your zone, that have been there for at least like 5 years or whatever.
That
And
you
they call
probably
themselves,
admired, yeah.
yeah, you probably like were like, oh, that's dope. I saw you in a video,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then you meet them, and then they're just like, oh, I'm a veteran, you had to listen to what I say. I'm like, no, you're not my boss. You like literally get paid the same as me. Like if anything, it's like 5 cents more. And it's just so crazy to me because when I first started, like my first day, dude, I remember I was working in Infected, I was a zombie, and a bunch of vets were like just telling them, oh, I'm a vet, I used to work in Carnival Streets last year, but I'm done. Okay.
You're gonna get a lifetime ban. So we should say this at the end. So if you know you don't see us, you know that we.
Yep. So the battery died. But all I'm saying is the veterans in this place think they run the place, which I get why they think that, but the management shouldn't let that be a thing. Like, management shouldn't let them get away with that. That kills the entire event. Or it kills it for the monsters anyway. Because when you're new, you're just there to have fun and like do your job. But when you have these people added on, like telling you crap,
Yeah.
it's just so annoying and not worth it.
Exactly, especially they're in the same situation, like in the same maze as you, or the same street zone as you. Like, I don't care how long you've been working here, it just shows me that this is your life. Like, I don't care if you've been there for 20 years.
Seriously.
That's nasty, first
You don't
of all.
own the place.
Like, you got kids and shit that you're leaving at home. You got a wife that you're leaving at home because you want to fuck around with some 18-year-olds and like pretend you're a monster. Like what the fuck?
Right,
Not like
right,
that, but like
right.
you know, just it's stupid. Like who are you? You're not my boss.
Just a disclaimer. If you ever plan on working here, just ignore the veterans because they're going to come up to you and be like, "Yo, I've been a vet here for 5 years, and you need to listen to everything I say." They're not your boss at all. Trust.
Come on, man. Like, let's just look out for each other, take care of one another, work one another. If you see that these guys are making a living, they're not just pushing this content out just to do it. They're making a living off this. And if you're seeing this and it's helping the business, it's helping attract people to the park, why not get behind them and support them? Yes, let them know, okay, there's some things that we don't like, but we want to work with you because we see what you guys are doing. I'm sure if they would approach you guys like that, you guys would be willing to do so or make the necessary changes or whatever. But to simply tell a person, no, you can't do this, and there's no like real reason behind it, or as a talent to be like, hey, I don't like this, or yeah, you're good at sliding, but that's a crush. That's not a real way of sliding. But that may be a real way of scaring. But that may be a real way of scaring for that person. They may not have that same talent as you do, as being vocal or timing or popping out or walking around being creepy. That's why we all have special ways of doing things. And then it's like also another with the security. Take care of us. Take care of us. If you want us to take care of you, take care of us. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be a point to where a talent is having an issue with someone that they rely on to protect them. We're not doing this out of hate. There's a lot of things that over the years, we each have some good amount of years of experience, that it's the same issues that aren't getting fixed. And it's like, it's not fair to us. You know, we put our bodies out there on the line. We deal with insults. Yeah, it comes with the job. We get all that. We sign the dotted line. But it's like, when it comes to protection and it comes to like keeping us interested in the event, why not take care of us a lot more?
Yeah, I understand that. But pretty much they shut me out, or shut, you know, all the YouTubers to push another group of people. Which, like Cam said, I understand, like, it's not. I understand it now a lot better. They can do whatever they want.
They probably just wanted the control.
Yeah, I feel like they wanted,
because like we already have a fan base, so it's like they can't control us technically.
Yeah.
We would have listened to everything they said or whatever, but I'm sure they want to. They just want to. They want to build their own people. So.
Hell no.
Hell no.
But I'm done with that place.
Me too.
It was fun. I mean, I love scaring people there.
Yeah.
It's just like too much. It's not worth the amount of drama you go through with the staff. It's just insane.
For me, it might. For you, maybe you might
be a
like
little
it.
different.
Hey, everybody's.
No, wait. Go work there, honestly.
Yes.
If you love scaring people, go work there. It's fun. Like, all of us had so much fun.
Right.
But, like, it's to the point where it's like, we've done it for, what, 4 years?
Yeah, all together probably over a decade if you combine the time.
Oh, yeah. And it's just like, we're over the drama. It was fun scaring people, but we can find other places to scare people.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. So should we announce that we're not coming back? Should we do that? Like,
well,
that
obviously you
was
guys know I'm not coming back.
So, I mean, obviously, if we're making this video, it's kind of obvious that all three of us are not going to be coming back to Not Scary Farm.
I quit. I was like, I'm done. Like,
Yeah, so,
screw you guys.
so can you quit?
Yeah, okay, literally the week before I quit, we had a gun threat. Like,
Real.
Yeah,
Yes.
a real gun threat.
Boom.
Someone, they all the monsters in Ghost Town heard gunshots, like, in the park, and all the monsters went running backstage, and then, you know, they cleared it or whatever. Everybody stayed back there for like an hour or whatever, and then I go back, you know, I'm about to clock in. I wasn't even clocked in yet, and I'm about to clock in. I go to talk to my lead, and I'm like, hey, I'm kind of like really known on the internet for working at Not Scary Farm, and if there is a possible gun threat, I want to go home. Like, I don't want to be targeted. I'm just not having it today.
Right.
And this dude looks me in the eye and tells me, he's like, oh, well, if you think you feel the need to go home, then maybe you should, or maybe I'm just gonna run it by our head manager, and maybe you won't work here tomorrow. And I was just like, you're an asshole, for one. I didn't say that, but like, cause I'm not just gonna tell him that straight up, cause I enjoy scaring people. That's the only reason I work there. But the next week, I was just like, okay, now that I have the mindset of they're gonna fire me for something that's stupid, I'm just gonna leave anyway, because I'm just like, no one should have to put up with that.
Right.
Like, I should honestly report that to Cedar Fair. Like that's some bullshit.
Right.
They want us to scare while there's a gun out in the park. Imagine that shit. We're done. Like, I'm sorry, guys.
Goodbye.
But we do have other options to scare at other places, not for the whole season, for one night.
Those places
I'll
will
just
be
be like
announced later.
What we're gonna do is we're gonna continue on with like some haunt vlogs, but they won't be behind the scenes. Like, we'll be going to other events for once, because working a whole season, you can't do really much of anything. We miss out on so much working
I'm a
to
fan.
events.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
a fan. I'm a fan of haunted attractions.
yes, I love going to them,
Everywhere.
and I missed out on every single haunt.
Yeah.
We only have like 1 or 2 nights to go visit like at least like one other theme park or another haunted event, whatever it may be. But anyways, I was saying that we are probably gonna scare somewhere else for a couple nights, but we're not gonna do a whole season. We're gonna focus more on like filming other events and our own reactions and vlog style during Halloween season. But yeah, so if that disappoints any of you guys, I'm very sorry, but you guys have other people to look forward to seeing.
I don't think there's any like actual haunt vloggers besides us.
No, like literally.
I think there's one other channel, but
There's so other channels have reached out to me and saying that they got the same thing.
Yeah,
they got
yeah.
talked to. They can't film as well. They wanted to know who told me. I mean, other information, but now you guys will know who was telling me. But yeah, so if that upsets you guys, I'm sorry, but we'll still be continue on with haunt vlogs, with vlogs during Halloween, at other events, like I said. So it's not gonna stop. It's just I won't be working at Not Scary Farm anymore. So.
But I think a lot of the future's bright. I think there's a lot more interesting content coming.
Exactly. There's a lot more stuff out there.
Besides just haunted attractions, we're gonna have, outings, different events and fun stuff. Like, we've already been pushing out some stuff.
Yeah.
This guy over here is always pushing out stuff. So,
Yeah.
it's the future's bright, and I think it's for the better.
Yeah. So I made a poll. I'm not sure if you saw that or if you saw that.
I didn't see it.
I made a poll on YouTube asking people what they wanted to see. The biggest biggest vote that they all voted on was this video. They all wanted to know.
Woo!
Yeah. So by a landslide, out of like I forget how many, like 55 votes or something like that. Real quick. Yeah, so they wanted to see this video, which you guys are seeing now, but the other video that they wanted to see was just like a daily vlog, like a day in the life.
There we go.
So we are gonna push that. That's the second biggest one by a couple, and I'll be doing that. So me and Cam will do some Avengers Canyon as well. We'll be doing a lot more vlogs. So pretty much just day in the life like you guys asked. Oh, okay. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching. That was pretty much why I didn't film anything. Got some insider information from Kenyon as well as to why he left, as to why Cam is leaving, and you guys now already know that I'm not coming back. So this is pretty much the last video of me talking about Not Scary Farm and why I didn't film. So if you guys liked the video, if you guys didn't, let me know down below. Subscribe if you already haven't, and we're out of here, guys. Bye.